Hello, Bravo and Blazers. Should we call ourselves that or is that lame? Today, we are here to review Vanderpump Rules Season 11, Episode 12, How Do You Like Them Apples? Which aired on Bravo. Kristen Doute and Tom Schwartz were on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. And we had the Vanderpump Rules after show on Peacock and on YouTube. As the unofficial and unintentional Scandoval historian, I'm going to go through today's review and provide archived social media content that took place during filming of this season of Vanderpump Rules. It's all happening. Let's go. If you've been here before, you know the drill. But if you are new, this is a friendly reminder to be cool. Don't be all like uncool. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. However, make sure you subscribe, follow, share, like, comment, and leave a 5-star rating. If you all have been wondering what happened to Anne, you're in luck because Tom Sandoval's former assistant and possibly Katie Maloney and Ariana Maddox's new employee, Ann Maddox, and her co-host, who is a former personal assistant to Nick Viall of Viall Files, Amanda Lifford. They are co-hosts of We Signed an NDA, and we're on a special bonus episode of Bravo and Blaze that was released on Sunday. Make sure you go check it out. I love them so much. They're amazing. In my Instagram stories, I posted, if you could ask Anne one question that wouldn't break her NDA, what would it be? And I didn't get these responses till after we recorded. So I'll just read them out for you guys just to see what everyone else was thinking. One question is, how often does Sandoval change his underwear? According to Ariana, not very often. Somebody wants to know how much he paid her. Did Tom yell at her? I'm sure. What's the grossest, strangest thing she did? I think for him. By the way, all of these things do break the NDA, so I wouldn't have been able to ask her the question. Anyways, is Tom even more misogynistic when cameras aren't around? She wouldn't be able to answer that one either, but I'm sure he is. No question, just can't wait to see everyone else's. Oh, so this is good that I'm reading them. Someone wants to know how much money, is she happy now, and is she making more? Looking back, would you have quit the first time you picked up his dirty underwear and socks? What does the inside of that house smell like? Again, I don't know if she can divulge this information. Is she a paid actor? I don't think so. Some tea she could tell us about post-Sandoval that no one knows. Well, I don't know if she would be able to. Does their house smell weird? I feel like bad vibes smell. No? That's a funny one. What was the worst thing not in job description you fulfilled for him? Ugh. Who did his laundry or does he have a service? Stinky drawers. And then did that emoji. Does Ariana and Katie pay you more than Tom? Did she watch the show? I think that is a yes. How often does Sandoval bathe? Does Tom stink like people have said? Why would she agree to work for Tom? Did you really buy the batteries and toilet paper? When you had a job working for Tom, why did you risk getting fired by trying to switch to Ariana? How was it appearing on The Office? Is acting your dream? She was on The Office? I didn't know that. What does Sandoval smell like? A lot of people want to know what Sandoval smells like. Maybe he should come out with a cologne since he's just collateral damage and all this, and everyone's profiting off his misery. There you go, dude. There's an idea. Somebody said, so many questions. Why didn't you accidentally send Ariana evidence months before? I don't know if Anne had evidence months before. But that would have been a great idea for Tom Sandoval to do, since he's too wussy pussy to break up with Ariana. He could have just accidentally sent her something. Oh my gosh, this guy. I can't wait to listen to her podcast. Yes. How bad does he really smell? Is Tom that delusional? Did she ever have any suspicions about Tom and Raquel? I would like to know that too. Has she always been such a happy go lucky person? What were Tom's interview questions before hiring you? And did he ask for references? What's the worst thing Tom had her do? How much do you hate Scumdoval? Does Tom smell badly because he looks like he does? I didn't write these. I'm just reading them. Have you seen skid marks? Ew. What is the most fucked up thing Sandoval has done that you've witnessed? Oof. If she knew about Sandoval and Rachel's affair before it broke, did she ever witness unhinged fights go down between Tom and Ariana while she was there? What did she see suspicious about the affair? The nastiest thing you ever cleaned after a Tom Sandoval party? Explain the parameters of the NDA. Ooh, I wish I had that before our interview. Did she know about the affair? What skills do you think were heightened after working with Tom? That's a good one. How many days in a row does Tom actually wear the same pair of underwear? Favorite Taylor Swift song? And what is your least favorite task to do? Wow. Those are a lot of questions. Go check out the interview with Anne and Amanda from We Signed an NDA. Lots of social media drama going on this past week. I saw from Bywig Hello Drama from Breaking the Rules pod, Lala Ken unfollows Ariana Maddox and Katie Maloney. Vanderpod recaps Doing God's Work transcribed the interview that Rachel had with Joe on Rachel Goes Rogue. And I definitely didn't want to listen to it, the actual podcast. So reading it was ideal for me. But then when I started reading it, I felt the same energy that I feel like I would have gotten if I listened to it. So I didn't even read the whole thing, but I didn't see much of anything. I didn't see any accountability. There was nothing like that really stood out. The reality Ashley posted, Schwartz was on Access Hollywood and they asked about Joe. He's so crazy. Schwartz said Joe is a great representative for the state of Wisconsin. That was his big takeaway about Joe. Okay, Bywig Hello Drama posted a clip from Lala's Amazon Live where someone asked her why she unfollowed Katie and Ariana. She goes on to explain she's very into like numbers and like her following count number was like, I think she had like 2.4 million and she wanted to only follow a certain amount or whatever. So she went through and those two seemed like they didn't need to be there anymore. Like it was the lamest reasoning I've ever heard. Bywig Hello Drama posted a clip from Sheena's podcast. Don't forget, Sheena and Jax have been having this little feud going back and forth where Jax commented on Sheena's parenting and Sheena said she responded to it on her podcast. And basically, Sheena outs his alleged drug use. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Okay, so Fancy Drew, the underscore lower level on Twitter, they posted a clip from Access Hollywood. It's Lala. And she's talking about how she feels like the Valley would be an organic fit for her. And we know that she just bought a house in the Valley. And I just feel like Lala is so transparent. As much as she'll like, her bark is real loud. And if you even question like the obvious of what's going on, she will tell you to disengage, bitch. But to me, this is just all very performative and like she wants to be on the Valley. Just say it. This past weekend was the first weekend of Coachella. And if you watch Vanderpump Rules, you know Coachella is basically an honorary cast member. So who went to Coachella? One person I don't think was seen there was Tom Sandoval, and I think that was a good move because last year That was their biggest concern after Sandoval. They were wondering how it was going to impact going to Coachella. And I thought that was crazy, insane. Like, why is Coachella your biggest concern after you guys just destroyed the earth? But I put together a little video compilation of Tom Sandoval's history with Coachella, just as a, heads up, red flags, be careful, cautionary tale, just be safe out there. That's all I'm saying. You can go check that out. I'll put the link in. So we see pictures of Lala and Sheena at Coachella. And again, I feel like Lala going to Coachella doesn't feel authentic. It feels the same as like Lala going to emo night. Like, I'm pretty sure she's going to work and make money, which we know Sheena does. So that's whatever. Ariana does too. And Ariana was seen with Daniel, her boyfriend. So we know that they were also there. James Kennedy was also at Coachella with Allie Luber. But also, James Kennedy did a live DJ set at the Neon Carnival where Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were seen canoodling, or whatever you want to call it. Also, Tom Schwartz was at Coachella, and he was a walking billboard for Patron. I even commented on his post about it because, like, I remember when he went off on Lala in season 10, and he's like, "You're a walking billboard. Like, everything's fake about you." And now here he is posting about Patron at Coachella with like a private jet and all this stuff. Like, ugh, he makes me so mad. But also, Nick Viall interviewed Schwartz during Coachella this past weekend, and I did listen to most of that interview, and it just like annoyed me. Schwartz annoys me for many reasons. One, he doesn't take accountability. Two, I don't like what he's doing with Joe. Like, it feels icky. I don't like it. He's basically outing her, saying, "Oh, she knew about Scandoval, blah, blah, blah." This is the same woman that you were sticking up for at the reunion, saying you're going to take a cease and desist out on Katie if she keeps saying negative things about Joe. So I can't stand him. And he's got this new, like, I don't know, new girlfriend who's like 21 years old or something. Oh, okay. So during the weekend, this is via Drunk Drawn. This is some Joe tea. This is in DMs. I don't know who the DM came from. They're anonymous. And it says, okay, so just a little tea. I honestly do feel bad for her right now and the way production dangled her in front of that cast like chum. But an ex of mine from the mid 2010s suddenly began getting weekly haircuts from her in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So naturally, she became a person of interest. He ended up cheating on me with Joseph, real name Kaylee. We broke up and then they moved to LA together to live out some bizarre spiritual journey, similar to what Schwartz said about them going on a journey. I haven't revisited this stuff emotionally for so long, but Vanderpump is my fave show, and now she's on it. Rude. Definitely rude. Joe's real name is Kaylee, guys. How come this is just coming out now? I feel played. I feel foolish right now. Ugh. Who is Joe? And then my family, Jeannie, found Kaylee Wenberg, aka Joe. Joe's her middle name. Wow, they even got her yearbook photo and everything. If anyone's interested, the dress that Ariana wore at Hotel Ziggy, I don't know who the actual designer is, but I got the Amazon dupe. I got it in 2 colors. So if you're interested, I'll put the link in the show notes. Okay. So this is on Pumped Up Tea. I guess Joe, my gosh, posted something in her stories. It's like 3 days ago. It says, "Hey guys, I'm a deeply empathetic individual who often prioritizes the needs of others before my own, sometimes to my detriment. Despite facing personal challenges, I consistently lend a helping hand and reach out to my friends, even when I'm in a tough situation. I have compassion who knows no bounds, and honestly, I can't bear to see others in pain. Despite this, I often find myself feeling lonely because I invest so much energy into caring for others that I sometimes forget to care about myself. I sacrifice my own well being. Can you relate to me?" There's a poll. What was the reason? What is the reason for this? Why? Why? Oh my God. I don't know what this is. It feels like she's attempting to, like, do damage control or something, and it's very cryptic and not clear, and I'm confused. Moving on. Oh, so by the way, go listen to Pumped Up Tea's podcast. I was dying laughing at listening to their podcast, and I actually thought of something while I was listening. I'm like, "Oh my god, I have a theory now," because I think they accidentally called Joe, like, Jolo or whatever, and then called her JoJo, I think, and I was like, "Oh my god, what if Tom Sandoval is obsessed with JoJo Siwa because he, in his mind, perceives 2 Joes, JoJo, to be better than Schwartz's 1 Joe?" Just throwing that out there. Because I know it sounds crazy, but this feels like something Tom Sandoval would think of. Just saying. Also, according to Queens of Bravo, Sheena and Katie launched a Chili's espresso martini. And if you've been following along, Sheena and Katie have been talking about working together. So I guess this is it. Yay! They did it. Oh, okay. So I'm so glad I have actual proof to tell this story now. But Sheena's podcast is called Shenanigans, right? And I've lived in this area. I grew up in this area that I live in now. Like, I moved away and came back. But there has been this local strip club called Shenanigans for like decades. It's always been here since I can remember. So at Shenanigans, the gentlemen's club, deep pocketed customers at Shenanigans Strip Club were targeted as prospects to be secretly drugged, ripped off, and filmed engaging in sex acts, a federal prosecutor told a judge Monday. This sounds like the plot of the movie with J-Lo. I wonder if Sheena feels impacted in any way by this. Before we get into this week's episode, I want to remind everyone of this blind item from Dumas that was posted on, all right, this is from August 10th, 2023, which is the same day that Beach Day was filmed in episodes 10 and 11. So it says, "Anon, please. I know the reason that Raquel Leviss is not coming back to Bravo. She is teaming up with a former recent disgruntled housewife, blank. Please block out that name. They're planning a Bravo takedown. They will be speaking their truth to a very famous magazine where they will talk about how production manipulated them for a storyline. Bravo painted them in the worst light imaginable, turning cast members against them while feeding them fuel. It's their time for payback because of all the mental anguish." This is the beginning of Bethany Frankel's reality reckoning, and it was kickstarted by Bethany interviewing Raquel or Rachel. Bethany has Raquel on her podcast for a 3-part interview with like 30 plus ads where there was just a lot of nonsense. I didn't even want to recap it at the time. I just focused on how much ad revenue that they were going to generate because Bethany's sitting there talking about how they're being exploited. Meanwhile, Raquel was paid, we found out Raquel was paid over $300,000 for season 10 of Vanderpump Rules. Okay. where Bethany was like in the interview, she's like, I'm pretty sure you get paid less than my interns. And I'm like, how much does Bethany pay her interns? Is it more than $300,000? But I just found it so funny that she's talking about exploiting people. Meanwhile, this interview alone with the 3 parts, all the ads, I did a whole calculation. I put it in my YouTube video, and I think it came out to like $750,000 or something just for the interview, just from ads and just from the podcast and YouTube. That, and I was being very conservative. I put low estimates. So you can go check that out. It's on YouTube. The link. I did 2 YouTube videos on this where we break down the ad revenue generated just on this one interview where Raquel made no money. We know that because Bethany was very clear, but then she backtracked and was like, how do you know? I didn't give her any money. Bethany, because you just told us that. She's so wild. So wild. But they talked about this in the after show. And I think Tom Sandoval is watching everything we do because it was like he summarized my video and just said it in the after show. Okay, let's move on. Vanderpump Rules, season 11, episode 12. How'd you like them apples? Just when it seems the group is on the road to healing, a podcast rehashing the past sends everyone spiraling, me included. Sheena turns her pain into lyrics by releasing a new song. Lala takes the next step toward expanding her family. Allie and James have a tough conversation about the next steps in their relationship. When everyone comes together to celebrate TomTom's first brunch service, Sheena and Sandoval clash over a perceived betrayal. So on last week's episode, Lala wants a sperm donor and is throwing a sperm donor party. Lisa tells Sandoval to be a gentleman and sell the house. Ariana is seen crying to Sheena and Lala over her shattered dreams. The nachos were there. We got it in the blind. Sandoval hasn't heard from Raquel and is still in love with her. We start this episode at Kyle Chan's store, and this is where they're shooting Good as Gold with the 27s, and they're doing the emo screamo version.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
That looks sick. Love it.
Gold, baby.
Corn dog man. Serving up that gold, dog.
I have lots of behind the scenes. I don't know. What should I call this? I have lots of bonus social media content from that day.
I had no idea.
Oh, God. Ariana and Lala arrive. Katie says she doesn't feel good, so she's not coming. Sheena questions if Katie's just trying to avoid Lala. I feel like Katie wouldn't do that. That doesn't seem like Katie's style. Sheena records her Good as Gold video and says how her music gives her a creative outlet to let her feelings out, and she honestly couldn't be happier. And I love this part about Sheena. I love that she's doing music. She genuinely seems to love it. And I feel the same way about my podcast. So we know Raquel goes on Bethany's podcast at James's house. Allie tells James that Rachel went on the podcast and is blaming James for Graham's or Hippie's behavior. And Allie's just like, wow, this is wild. Lala asked Sheena about the podcast. Sheena said she didn't get a chance to listen to it, but Sheena is not happy because Sheena really did put herself out there to help Raquel and was a really good friend to her. Raquel also mentioned that Ariana and Raquel weren't even that close. And it's like, hello, we all know you guys where we watched you. And she even said it. They flashed back and showed her like saying, these are my true core friends. Like, hello. It's so bold and audacious as a viewer. It's like, we saw you. Don't try to play us. Oh my God, so annoying. James mentions that Sandoval invited James to his band practice and even invited James to open for Tom Sandoval and the most extras at the El Rey. And I just find that to be so on brand for Tom Sandoval, not having any awareness that James's career is well past that stage of opening up for Tom Sandoval and the most extras. And James is so, if you look back at the relationship between James and Sandoval, James was always so kind to Tom about music. I feel like when James really didn't need to, like that whole trumpet session, if you go back and you remember or recall, Sandoval was like doing nothing with that trumpet, and James turned it into something, and he was so nice about it. He did not pull out any digs or anything like that. Same with opening for his stupid band. And even when he went to go watch him, he still went to go see him and was even like, oh yeah, okay, like bopping along. But Allie also tells James that Lala's doing her sperm donor party. Yes, so this sperm donor party, we see Lala ask Ariana if they can use her house for the party. They show footage of how messy Ariana's house is now that Anna's gone, and it's bad. So Ariana says, it's probably not a good idea right now, but you can get inseminated in my next house for all I care. Like being very gracious to her. But yet Lala unfollowed Ariana for some reason. Ooh, I also got bonus social media content of Katie's response to Bethany's podcast.
So that trending song, sound or song or whatever that was like, why the fuck you lying? Anyways, that's been stuck in my head like all morning for some reason.
This next scene is at Tom Schwartz's apartment. Sandoval shows up. He said he listened to the podcast. He's all upset because Rachel said she wasn't in love with Tom. Sandoval's bitching about how he made all these changes to himself for her. He starts to cry. I don't know if this actually did seem like the first time that he was sincere in crying, but I don't know if I don't know if he's crying because of Raquel or I don't know what's happening. But in this moment, and if we're still playing our game, smoke every time Tom Sandoval fake cries, Schwartz goes, she must want to have her voice heard one last time before she pursues her new life. I wish that she went to go pursue a new life. Instead, she's talking about this weekly on her own podcast that she started. She's making 3-minute long videos as passion projects to point out all the time Sheena Shea says Tom Sandoval's name. What is this new life that she's pursuing? But Sandoval asks, what was it all for? And I don't know if that's an original thought or if he heard me say that so many times. I remember in the beginning of Sandoval, people were so angry and they're like, I hope that they break up and they have miserable lives. And I remember being like, whoa, hell no. They better not break up. Otherwise, this was for nothing. And I will be even more upset. And sure enough, that's what happens. And now Tom Sandoval is saying, like, what was it all for? I don't know. Is he stalking us? I don't know if that's an original thought of his or not. So we go to TomTom. They're doing their brunch. I guess they just like kind of moved the pump brunch over to TomTom, essentially. This is where Schwartz shows up and Lisa asks, where's Sandoval? They were supposed to be there at 1:15. It was 1:45, so 30 minutes late, and he's not there. So Lisa starts to point it out, and immediately Schwartz defends Sandoval, saying that the podcast with Raquel's interview really affected him. And Lisa goes, who cares? Which is so weird because sometimes Lisa's like, she's practical. Like in this moment, who cares? But then other times she's like, she makes no sense. Like, oh, let's all be nice to Tom Sandoval. Like, what? Lisa, what is your deal? Sandoval shows up. Lisa asks him if he wants to talk. Tom says he's upset. Lisa asks him why he's even listening. You could tell he's like unhinged and spiraled. He's like, I don't know. I got to listen. I don't know. Lisa asks him what's going on with the house. Tom's like, I don't know if Ariana is willing to accept the offer. And then he doesn't even know if he wants to buy her out anymore, if maybe they should sell it. And it's just like, oh my God, this guy is dragging his feet. He's destructive. His lack of action causes more problems than just pulling the trigger and moving on, making a decision and moving forward. It's like, what is your deal, dude? But he did say that Ariana was willing to accept the offer, which is great. But now he's the one who's backtracking. Lala shows up. Lala asks if she can have her party at Lisa's house. Lisa's like, she doesn't want sperm and people jerking off everywhere. I don't know if she said the jerking off part. Lala assures Lisa it's going to be beautiful. There's going to be catering, balloons, and a packet for them to all vote on who her baby daddy should be. And Lisa rolls her eyes out. Lisa is so judgy when it comes to this stuff. Like, I think a lot of Lala's behavior is problematic, but at the same time, I'm always going to keep rooting for her because it's too easy to make fun of Lala. It's too easy to rip her to shreds if anyone really wanted to. So I don't even go there. And I'm starting to feel that way with Sandoval too. It's like, it's not even fun to make fun of them. It's just like, I feel sad for you and I want to root for you because this is not fun to watch anymore. But whatever. The next scene we see Ariana at her house. Sheena and Brock show up. Ariana tells Sheena that Logan overheard Tom say he doesn't know if he wants to sell the house. Ariana's pissed, rightfully so, because if he made that decision before, don't forget this is filmed in like August, this episode. When Sandoval happened, they could have made a decision to put the house up for sale right away and things could have been different. Maybe she'd be out. And I could not relate any harder when she said, being right is hard sometimes, especially when it's always the case. I was screaming. Ariana mentioned to Sheena, she's like, I think he's upset about the podcast with Raquel, which is funny to hear and see Ariana even acknowledge like he could have some feelings. But she added in that, yeah, he didn't even know there were 3 parts to the interview, and I could not stop laughing because I remember those 3 days, and I was just like, "This is so lame." Like, first of all, it didn't need to be broken up into 3 parts, and why are they making us wait? They're not even saying anything. So to think of Tom Sandoval, like, if he actually was spiraling and to find out he's like, "Oh my god, there's more." Should we feel bad for him yet? I don't know. Probably not. But I like how Brock is really leaning into his idea of like apples. Sheena's song, Apples, is part 4. How do you like them apples? And I remember I have some behind the scenes.
So I had something new I was going to release in a couple weeks, but tomorrow's kind of feeling like a better time. What do you think, honey?
I think I want an apple.
A-P-P-L-E-S. How you like them apples?
Sheena said she wasn't going to drop the song for another 2 weeks, but because of the interview, the 3 parts, they dropped it earlier. And I do think that was a good idea because that interview was infuriating and it was talked about a lot, obviously. So when Sheena came out with that song, Apples, first of all, it is a motherfucking bop. I love that song. A-P-P-L-E-S. How you like that? Saw you on the internet. You a hot mess. Oh my God, I love that song. And we find out that the first part is about Raquel. The second part is about Tom. Hey, baby Elias, how you like that? Saw you on the internet. You a hot mess. By the way, Apples gives me Scotty doesn't know vibes. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Uh-oh. That song is in Eurotrip, and it was so funny because it's like a diss track, and you can't help but laugh because the song is actually really funny. And Matt Damon plays the lead singer of this fake band. Matt Damon played Goodwill Hunting, where they had the infamous line, "How you like them apples?" With Chip. Oh, I love that song. But in this moment, you can see Sheena's like OCD coming out because she says she wants to help Ariana with her house. And I feel that too. Like I like that Sheena did this because she's right. For me, I need my physical space to be clean for like my mind, my mental to be good. And so I really like that Sheena started cleaning up and stuff. All right, moving on. We get the scene with Tom Sandoval and the most lamos having their band practice. Sandoval's wearing a dipped out shirt in bright red, Bravo and Blaze red. He is such a troll. He is such a troll. We see Jason, the drummer. Didn't even know who you were, dude, till I found out you blocked me. That's creepy. But James shows up with Hippie. And I have to say, it is weird when Sandoval and Hippie are like greeting each other. It's like, this is awkward. But we got Sandoval dancing like a weirdo, like he always does. And like I said, James is like bopping to it. He's being supportive. But also, is it standard practice to practice with a smoke machine? Is that necessary for band practice? Seems like a little bit overkill, but I don't know. I've never been in a band. So it's interesting because James does seem to feel bad for Sandoval after the podcast. And it was interesting because I feel like James felt like this could have been a bonding moment between James and Sandoval. Like, hey, she did the same thing to me. Like, pick your head up. Got to keep moving forward. Look how great I'm doing now. Like that kind of vibe. But instead, when Sandoval is venting to James, he is going off on Raquel and being super defensive instead of like taking any accountability and like shrugging it off and being like, all right, time to move on. And I think that annoys James because he's like, James doesn't want to believe that Sandoval and Raquel were truly in love. And I think it triggers James to think that there could have been actual feelings between the two. And you can see how he starts to get upset when Sandoval is like being defensive and like kind of going off on Raquel, saying she was disrespectful, she was selfish, and like he's just talking shit or whatever. Sandoval says, he never got any closure. James is like, fuck closure. This is where I think things really turned is when Sandoval subtly brings up James's breakup with Raquel and how Raquel said she didn't think that James would be able to quit drinking. And so that's why she gave him that ultimatum or whatever. And that is a dig towards James. And what do you expect from James? He's gonna go off. That's when he's like, I don't think you guys were ever in love. I think that it was just a lusty fuck fest. Sandoval goes on to try to defend their relationship, and James just tears him apart. He's like, well, you're a liar, Tom. You rewrite history in your mind. Oh my gosh. James's confessional in this moment is so good. He's like, that's the past. Move on. What are you going to be 75 years old doing karaoke and your dick flute comes out of the pocket? Oh my gosh. James is fed up with Sandoval. He's like, I'm not opening for you. I've moved on to bigger and better things. This is just a joke to me. Sandoval recycles Jax's dig towards James. That wasn't even good back then. He goes, oh, push some buttons on your laptop. James laughs at him because literally James is getting paid to push the buttons during the Neon Carnival at Coachella. Tom. Next scene is in Villa Rosa. We have Lala's sperm donor party. They have a game, pin the sperm on the vagina. I hate that.
Oh, what's wrong with Yay. Sweet.
Also in this scene, Allie checks in with Katie. Allie tells Katie that she heard Katie was miserable and gets upset about things. Katie asks who said it. Allie told her it was Lala. All right, next scene is at Tom's house. Schwartz shows up. Sandoval looks very unhinged in this scene. He's sitting on the chair. He's got a knife strapped to his leg. He's got his new assistant, Craig, who looks like Sandoval's doppelganger, who works at Schwartz and Sandy's. They show a flashback of his interview. And in the interview, they're like, oh, one thing, you're going to have to get rid of your mustache because only Tom Sandoval can have a mustache. That is just beyond weird. This is the scene where Sandoval says he's going to cut Maya in half and delay responding to Ariana's email so he can hang out with Maya longer. Like, he's really spiraling here. We already compared you to a convicted murderer. Then he's serious. I cannot believe he's serious. He mentions to Schwartz, he proposes this idea that Schwartz move in with him. And it's so weird to me the way he says it. Like, there seems to be an expectation behind it. Like, you're going to do this, Schwartz. And you can see Schwartz is like, I'm definitely not doing that. But you could see Schwartz almost feeling like Tom is going to expect that he does what he says. And he wants him to pay $6,000 a month to be his roommate. Because Schwartz is such a wussy pussy, instead of being like, dude, sell this house. I'm not going to be your roommate. Get it together. You're losing your shit. Instead, he goes, oh, do you know what the optics of that would be? I'm sorry, but who gives a shit about the optics? Can you guys use your brains for once? Schwartz goes, someone would make voodoo dolls of us. And Sandoval said, someone already did. First of all, who did that and where can I get one? Just kidding. Sandoval suggested getting a loan together. Dude, run. Ugh, it's so weird that he is serious. Like, that is delusional. Really, truly. If he said it one time and saw Schwartz's response and let it go, I could see that being like, okay, that's not a big deal. But he mentioned it to him again at brunch and even was like, oh, I'll let you, think about it. Like he's doing him a favor. Like, oh, it's okay that you didn't tell me yes yet. So I'll just let you have a little bit more time. Like, it's just giving heavy, narcissistic vibes. Like that expectation and privilege that somebody's going to do these things. Why? Why would Tom Schwartz pay you $6,000 in rent for you and your house? Makes no sense. But back to the sperm party. Brian from California Cryobank is there. I wonder if he's the same guy who said that all the sperm donors are doing it out of the kindness of their heart. Brian, whatever. I thought this was funny. Sheena picks Lala's sperm donor based on his favorite song being Grown Ocean and that his favorite animal is a lion. Ariana was saying she didn't like the ones who had shorter answers. And Allie was like, yeah, it's it feels like he did it in a night to make some quick money. Anyways, they voted and picked Lala's baby daddy. So I don't know. It feels like Lala's gonna like she's hoping that sperm parties are gonna be like fetch and happen someday, but I don't know if that's gonna catch on. I don't know if that'll trend going forward. But at James's house, oh my God, my heart is about to break for James Kennedy. Allie said she loved the sperm party, sperm donor party, whatever. I like calling it a sperm party. And then the topic of them having kids comes up, and she says she does not want babies right now. She's not even thinking about marriage. There's no Pinterest boards or anything like that. And James starts to cry. He said his love chapter is not what he thought it would be. And the thought of starting from square one is a nightmare for James. That's so sad. Don't be afraid, James. Oh my God, that makes me sad for everyone who feels that way. Because obviously James can't be the only one who thinks like that. Like, I see that as like a positive thing, starting from square one. You can don't have to think about all the issues or the things that you've kind of either settled for or you pretended like it didn't bother you. Like, just start fresh. I support that. No, I do love James and Allie together, so we'll see. Allie did say that she was dating James because she loves him and she sees a future with him. We'll see what happens. So at this TomTom brunch, Schwartz shows up. Katie and Ariana show up. We have some bonus social media content.
Tom brunch and the queen. Have some, please. I don't know that will ever happen. It seems like it's happening as much as it possibly can. Oh yeah, buddy. Hello.
Sandoval shows up with a purse. It looks like, I'm not sure if it's a purse, but James and Allie show up. James says sorry to Sandoval for what happened during their argument. Sheena and Logan show up. Katie mentions Lala calling her miserable, and it almost felt like Lala tried to intimidate Allie in this moment, but Allie held her own because Allie did misspeak and use the wrong word, but Lala and Katie talk it out. And I don't know, like, I was surprised that Katie seemed to be genuinely upset about not being close with Lala. And I don't know about this scene. It's kind of weird because now we know Lala unfollowed Katie. So during brunch, Sheena's Apple song is playing in the background. And I don't know if that was actually like they were playing it in real life or if they just added it in later, but James is DJing. Sandoval and Schwartz are talking about the house situation, and Sandoval goes, "Shh, Sheena's coming," and acts as if like they're not filming everything they're doing, which is funny. But Sheena goes on to tell Sandoval that she wrote a song about what was going on, and he's like, "About what?" He goes, "About the affair." She's like, yeah, it's open to interpretation, but there was one line from a Ferrari to a Jetta. Thought that you knew better. Sandoval's face, he gives her the dirtiest look. And Sheena's just smiling ear to ear the entire time. She's like, I promise you won't be able to hate it. And it's true. Like, how can you hate that song? It's so good. I love the 27s. They crushed it with this song. Oh, I love it. Sandoval gets upset, walks away, pissed off, saying, fuck this shit. Go profit off my pain. Keep cashing in on my misery. Like, dude, you did this. What are you talking about? On the next episode of Vanderpump Rules, we see Tom and Tom get tattoos. Yeah, always a great idea, guys. Jax and James are supposed to co-host a party at Sir for See You Next Tuesday, and we all, well, I know what happened. Oh, we don't know what happens. There was like a family emergency, and Jax wasn't able to go, but we have bonus social media content from that day as well. Then we also see a little clip where Sheena and Brock are having some issues. I guess we'll see more about that. I also have more bonus social media content. I'm not sure why they didn't air this on the show, but on August 14th, 2023, Ariana Madix started following Bravo and Blaze on TikTok. Woohoo! I can't believe they didn't show that on the show. Alex Baskin, you're such a hater. Also, I don't know if you all remember, but back in August, there was a huge wildfire in Maui. Brock and Sheena did a whole fundraiser hosted by Sheena at Sir on August 15th. I have a ton of footage from that night. I don't know. They might be saving it for the next episode. I'm not sure if I should release it yet. I don't want to ruin things for, the next episode. So I'll hold off on that. But if we don't get it next episode, then I will include that on the next review. Also, on social media, if you follow Allie Luber, you'll know that Girls Girl, her song, dropped on April 12th, so 5 days ago from this recording. And I have some social media content showing them recording back in August, on August 14th. Also, I don't know if they're going to show this in the next episode or at all, but James Kennedy was on Wild and Out on August 17th, 2023.
Tonight, DC Young Flyers guest hosting, while the Yin Yang Twins and James Kennedy do the roasting.
I'ma do this for the ATL. Don't play with the champ, cause boy, I give you hell.
Wild and Out, all new tonight at 9 on VH.
All right, moving on to Watch What Happens Live. We had Kristen Doute and Tom Schwartz. I don't know if there's anything big that came out of this. They did a poll, which VPR guy would you want as your sperm donor? And James won. That's who I would pick, I think. But actually, no, I would rather clone myself. Clone myself and maybe change the gene that controls whether you like cilantro or not. Like maybe I do want to like cilantro. Or do I want to stay on the side of hating cilantro? Because we have a strong bond over here on this team. I don't know if I would. Ooh, the topic of Big Bear came up, and Schwartz is, like I said, he did this on Nick Vile's podcast. He's basically throwing Joe under the bus, saying she knew about the affair. So I don't know what's going to happen to Joe. I feel bad for her now because I feel like, I don't know. She kind of played herself, but Schwartz is not innocent either, so I don't know. All right, let's move on. See, this is too much stuff. I can't even include everything. The after show. The first part is James Kennedy calls Tom Sandoval's last relationship a lusty fuck fest. I love that. James is so funny. His commentary in this section is so hilarious. He's like, "Are you kidding me, man? You literally crawled back up the stairs. You and your fake joke clown town band." Oh my God. I love it. The next section is Ariana Madix reacts to the podcast. You didn't care about me. James notes he thinks that podcasts should not be allowed. This is a topic that I talk about sometimes because I kind of agree a little bit. I don't know. There just needs to be like proper guidelines, I think, just to organize it because it's chaotic and messy. But maybe that's a good thing for us. The way Brock describes helping out Raquel after the breakup with James, they made her sound like a grifter. The fact that Sheena's rent was like over $4,000 a month and Raquel was only paying like $1,000 a month, I don't like that. And Brittany was mad. They were talking about Raquel saying she wasn't that close with Ariana. She's like, "Are you kidding me? Everyone knows that." The audacity, man. Bold and audacious. It's just wild to me. I can't believe people like exist like this. Kristen Doute discusses her pregnancy. I'll be honest, I'm not like that excited to talk about Kristen Doute's pregnancy yet. We'll see. I don't know. Sheena Shea thought Tom Sandoval would see the humor in her new song. Sheena says, I thought he would think it's funny and maybe he would cover it. Yes, Sheena. I don't even care if she came up with that herself, but I love that she delivered it on the after show. Then we see Tom admitting his financial situation changed for buying Ariana Madix out. You can hear more details of the logistics on the house in the after show, and everything Ariana is saying makes sense. Nothing Tom Sandoval says makes sense. I stand by Ariana. Team Ariana. Born effing cool. Lala Kent calls going the IUI route more pleasurable than sleeping with her ex. Lala is so messy. This is where she's lost people, I think, because she keeps talking all this smack about Ariana getting over what happened with Tom Sandoval. Yet here we are. She's pregnant with another baby and still talking smack about her ex. And she even said, you can keep it all in. Girl, you have a child with this man. Like, I know Randall Neck Emmett / Ives is disgusting. And I'm sure he has a small penis, like Lala mentioned. But still, like, I don't know if it just makes no sense the way she preaches, but she doesn't practice. Practice what you preach, girl. James Kennedy goes on to say he wouldn't want kids with anyone besides Ali Luber. I thought it was so sweet how James was talking about, my career is booming right now. I'm traveling a lot and I can't even think about, it's so sad how much I miss Hippie just from 4 days. I can't imagine being away from my child that long. Because I wouldn't. Like he in that moment, as he's processing it, he's like, no, I wouldn't. And I love that. I think that is so sweet. James Kennedy. The next section is funny. Katie Maloney says she hasn't been miserable in over a year. What a strange topic of conversation. Well, I haven't been miserable since 2023. Now I can say that. Such an odd thing to say. I don't see any reason for Katie to be miserable. She see it like Katie is living her best life. Live that single life, girl. Do it up. All right, I got to wrap this up because we're going for way too long. We don't have all day. Real quick, The Valley, I did not get a chance to watch that yet, but I will watch that after this. And comment if you want me to recap it or review it. I did watch Vanderpump Villa. I have 2 comments. Marciano is a creep. And the second thing is, I hope Hannah bangs a guest. I wouldn't normally say something like that, but in this situation, I hope she does. Now, let me remind you all to make sure you subscribe, follow, share, like, leave a comment, and 5-star rating for Bravo and Blaze on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to follow on social media at Bravo and Blaze. Until next week, y'all, stay lit.